I tried. I'm sorry. She stared at her phone for hours, hoping the words would rearrange themselves into something that didn't feel like a knife pressed against her chest. Her fingers trembled as she typed his name again and again, but the calls refused to go through. That night, the rain fell like it was mourning something the world didn't know had died. And by morning, love had turned into tears. They say love never warns you before it breaks you. It doesn't knock, it doesn't whisper, it doesn't ask for permission. It walks into your life gently, settles into your heart, makes itself at home, and one day it burns the house down and leaves you standing in the ashes, alone. Amara didn't know this when she met Daniel. If she had, she might have walked away the moment their eyes met. But fate has a cruel sense of humor. Amara believed in silence more than words. She was the kind of woman who smiled softly, loved deeply, and felt things too intensely. Life had already taught her how painful loving the wrong person could be, so she guarded her heart like a fragile glass about to shatter. Daniel walked into her life on a Tuesday afternoon she almost skipped. She had gone to the cafe only because she needed air, real air, not the suffocating loneliness that followed her everywhere. The cafe was quiet, the kind where broken hearts came to hide. She chose the corner seat. Then he walked in, tall, calm, eyes heavy with stories he didn't talk about. There was sadness in his posture, like someone who had learned to carry pain quietly. When their eyes met, something strange happened. Not fireworks, not magic, just a pause. A long, unsettling pause that felt like recognition. Daniel ordered coffee, then hesitated, scanning the room, before walking straight to her table. "Excuse me," he said gently, "is this seat taken?" Amara shook her head. No. She didn't know that single word would change everything. They talked about nothing, and then about everything, about broken dreams, about loneliness, about how sometimes love feels like a place you're never allowed to stay. Daniel laughed softly when Amara told him she didn't believe in forever anymore. "Forever is a dangerous word," he said. "People promise it before they understand the weight." She looked at him, surprised. Most men tried to convince her otherwise, but Daniel didn't argue. He understood. That scared her. When she stood up to leave, she realized she didn't want to. "I'm Amara. Daniel." Their hands brushed. Something electric passed between them. Neither spoke about it. They didn't fall in love immediately. Love didn't rush them. It crept in slowly through late-night calls, shared silences, gentle laughter, and long walks where words weren't necessary. Daniel never raised his voice, never rushed her, never made promises he couldn't explain. That made her trust him. He listened when she spoke, really listened, like her words mattered. And Amara, she loved him in the quiet ways, cooking his favorite meals, remembering the smallest details, praying for him even when he didn't know. For the first time in years, she felt safe, and that terrified her. Daniel had a past he never talked about. Sometimes when Amara asked about his family, his eyes would darken. Sometimes when his phone rang late at night, he'd step outside to answer, his voice low, controlled. "Are you okay?" she asked once. He smiled. "I'm fine." But his eyes told a different story. She wanted to ask more. She didn't, because love teaches you fear, the fear of asking questions that might ruin everything. One night, as they lay under the stars, Daniel took her hand. "If I ever hurt you," he said quietly, "promise me you'll walk away." Amara laughed nervously. "Why would you say that?" "Because loving me won't always be easy." She looked at him, heart pounding. "I don't want easy, I want real." Daniel closed his eyes, and for the first time since she met him, he looked afraid. Love doesn't break all at once. It cracks, slowly. Daniel began to pull away, not completely, just enough for her to feel it. Calls became shorter, smiles didn't reach his eyes anymore. "Did I do something wrong?" she asked once. "No," he said quickly, "never." But his distance screamed louder than his words. Amara tried harder, loved deeper, gave more, because that's what people do when they're afraid of losing someone. They pour love into the cracks, hoping it will hold. It didn't. The night Daniel didn't come home was the night Amara felt her heart break for the first time. She waited, called, texted. Nothing. At 2:47 a.m., her phone buzzed. "Daniel, I'm sorry, I didn't mean for this to happen." Her hands shook. "What happened? Where are you? Are you safe?" No reply. That was the first tear, the kind that tells you your life is about to change. Amara didn't sleep that night. She sat by the window watching the city lights flicker, wondering how love could feel so warm one moment and so cold the next. She didn't know yet that Daniel was fighting a battle he never told her about, that the past was already catching up with him, and that love was about to demand a price neither of them was ready to pay. And when it did, love would turn into tears.
He turned. Their eyes met, and just like the first time, the world paused. Neither moved, neither spoke. 6 months of pain stood between them like a wall too heavy to climb. "I thought you were gone," Amara said, her voice shaking. Daniel swallowed hard. "I wanted to be." Her chest tightened. "You wanted to leave me?" "No," he said quickly. "I wanted to save you." She laughed bitterly, tears spilling. "Like destroying me?" He had no answer. They sat in his car, rain tapping against the windows. Daniel finally spoke. "I didn't disappear because I stopped loving you," he said. "I disappeared because loving you became dangerous." He told her everything. Elena, the threats, the life he escaped but never truly left behind. "If I stayed," he said, "you would have been collateral damage." Amara listened, heart breaking in new ways. "So you chose for me?" she whispered. "Yes." That hurt more than the truth. Amara met Elena by accident, or so she thought. The woman approached her outside work, confident, cold, smiling like she already knew how this would end. "You must be Amara," Elena said. Amara froze. "Daniel talks about you like you're a saint. The saints get hurt the most." Fear crawled up Amara's spine. "Stay away from him," Elena warned, "or you'll regret it." That night, Daniel begged Amara to leave the city. "Please," he said, "this is bigger than love." Amara shook her head. "I'm tired of running from pain." They tried to love each other quietly. Secret meetings, stolen moments, careful smiles, but danger followed them. Strange cars, unknown calls, threatening messages. Love became something they had to defend, and love gets tired when it's always fighting. Elena gave Daniel a choice: disappear forever or watch Amara suffer. Daniel made his decision the moment he saw fear in Amara's eyes. He met Elena alone. "You win, just leave her alone." Elena smiled, but she was lying. Amara waited for Daniel. He never came. Instead, her phone rang. Unknown number. "Come to the old bridge if you want answers," a woman's voice said. Her heart screamed not to go. She went anyway. The wind was cruel. The water below was dark. Daniel was there, bleeding. Elena stood beside him. "You should have stayed away," Elena said calmly. Amara ran to him. "I'm sorry," Daniel whispered. "I tried." Police sirens echoed in the distance. Elena panicked. She pushed Daniel. Time slowed. Amara screamed. Daniel fell. Amara watched the love of her life disappear into the darkness below. She fell to her knees, screaming his name until her voice broke. By the time the police arrived, it was too late. Love didn't survive the fall. Amara didn't remember screaming. People later told her she did. They said her voice echoed across the bridge, raw and broken, like a soul being torn from a body. But in that moment, all she could hear was the sound of water swallowing the man she loved. Daniel. Gone. Just like that. She ran to the edge of the bridge, ignoring the hands that tried to hold her back. "Daniel!" she cried. The river answered with silence. The days that followed felt unreal, like life had lost its color and was playing on mute. Daniel's body was found 2 days later. 2 days Amara spent praying for a miracle she knew wouldn't come. When they pulled him out of the water, she collapsed. Love doesn't prepare you for the moment you see forever end. The sky was gray. Appropriate. Amara sat frozen as they lowered his body into the ground. She hadn't cried yet, really. Grief sometimes waits until you're alone. People whispered condolences. "I'm so sorry for your loss. He loved you so much. He was brave." None of it brought him back. As the crowd thinned, Amara remained. "I'm here," she whispered to the grave, "just like I promised." The wind answered. Elena was arrested. Witnesses, evidence, truth. But justice felt empty. No prison sentence could undo the fall. No punishment could return Daniel's smile. When Amara was asked to testify, she did. Not for revenge, but for closure. Elena never looked sorry, only angry. Some people don't regret destruction. They regret getting caught. 3 weeks after the funeral, Amara received a package. No return address. Inside was a letter. Daniel's handwriting. Her knees buckled. "My love, if you're reading this, then I lost. I need you to know something. Loving you was the bravest thing I ever did. I was broken before you. You didn't ruin me. You healed parts of me I thought were dead. I'm sorry my love came with pain. If love turns to tears, I hope you remember that some tears mean something mattered. Live, laugh again, love again, and when you look at the stars, know I'm finally free. Daniel." Amara cried for the first time since his death. Not loud, not violent, just quiet tears, falling onto a page like memories refusing to fade. Healing didn't come quickly. Some days she was okay, some days she wasn't. Love leaves scars no one sees. She avoided the cafe for miles. When he finally returned, she sat in the same corner seat where it all began. She ordered 2 coffees out of habit, then smiled sadly.
"1 coffee, please."
"1," she corrected. Daniel taught Amara something important, that love isn't measured by how long it lasts, but how deeply it changes you. That some people come into your life not to stay, but to save you, even if it costs them everything. Years later, Amara stood on a different bridge. This one was quiet, peaceful. She released a folded letter into the water. It floated for a moment, then disappeared. She whispered, "I loved you." And for the first time in a long time, she smiled. Sometimes love doesn't end with a goodbye. Sometimes it ends with a memory that follows you forever. And when love turns into tears, those tears remind us that love